Hello everybody and welcome back to Weeby Plays. And so, you know how some people think Rick and Morty might be connected to Gravity Falls? Well, honestly, I think it could go much, much deeper than that. Consider the following. The newest Disney TV series, The Owl House, the one created by Dana Terrence, who also worked with Alex Hirsch, the creator of the show we all know and love, Gravity Falls. Oh, did I also mention both Dana and Alex are in a relationship? Honestly, this seems like it could be connected to Gravity Falls somehow, and that's not even getting to how all the symbolism clearly hints toward Bill still being alive. But, like, if you want another episode for that, because today I'm not going to talk about the Owl House. Instead, I want to talk about another show that I've been watching, because, you know, whenever you have siblings, you kind of have to watch whatever they're watching on TV, because at the second that you turn it, you know, they start screaming, and they won't leave you alone. Anybody with siblings knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah, so a show that I've actually watched and quite enjoyed is a show called Amphibia. And for those of you who don't know or need a refresher, I'll give you a quick recap without spoiling anything. Our protagonist is a 12-year-old kid named Anne, who on her 13th birthday skips school with her friend Sasha and celebrates being a teen. Teenage rebellious phase, whatever, yeah, puberty, yada yada yada. This leads them to a pawn shop where they find an music box they get. They open it and a giant flash of light comes out. And then Anne wakes up in a world that is not her own. She then realizes she's been transported into another plane of existence inhabited by giant frogs and terrifying insects. A 13-year-old kid in an odd situation where she's sent to a place that is kind of terrifying. Kind of sounds like the Beta GF, or, you know, budget isekai. She meets a frog kid and they end up becoming friends, even letting her stay at his family's place. These people are the planners, which one, Amphibia, learns about the music box and takes it and buries it? What? Okay. Yeah, CL21, roll the clip.
Sorry, Anne, but I can't have you showing this thing around. Too dangerous for all of us. Now it's where it belongs, where no one can find it.
Okay, there are a lot of questions. Let me try and smooth things out. And here's a spoiler warning, because I'm going in a little bit more depth here. Now, once Anne reveals the music box to Hop Hop, that's his nickname, by the way, you know, he takes it and he says he's going to run it by some of his contacts and buries it. Large air quotes around the contacts bit. Now, I was wondering why he buried it and said this is too dangerous for anyone to keep it, or something like that. Because after Anne gets it there, it doesn't work. She opens it and it's just an empty box. Just as any kind of box you would see at, you know, your grandmother's attic. So why? Why did he bury it? Well, an episode that was really different might give us the answer. Now, in this episode, while traveling to Newtopia, Anne and the planters come across the Curiosity Hut, a tourist trap where a frog is simply referred to as the curator, tries to freeze Anne in wax as the ultimate freak, and would be perfect for his museum. Curiosity Hut. Creepy curator. Wax museum. That sounds very familiar. But it should sound familiar because that curator is the one and only Mr. Mystery, Grunkle Stan himself. There's even a Seuss cameo. So tell me this. This was the one and only place Anne ever saw anything from her home. And it raises some questions. And that brings me to the Seuss cameo. Seuss's lines are in classic Seuss fashion, completely breaking the fourth wall, saying, and I quote, "Do you ever wonder if we are just separate beings coexisting with ourselves in another timeline?" Basically saying outright that this is a separate timeline from their own, or more of a parallel universe. So where's everyone else? Ford, Dipper, Mabel, where is everyone? Simple. Dipper and Mabel haven't come to Oregon, and Ford, he's not exactly hiding. Did you ever ask yourself, why does Hop Hop know the music box is dangerous? Is it possible he read it in one of his books? Doesn't seem like he knows about it whenever Anne first shows up, but what if he knew because he saw it? Because he created it? Pause for a second, pause for gasps, and somehow loud eye rolls. You should probably go see a doctor. Now, I do have evidence to support this theory, though it wouldn't be much of a theory if I didn't. Alright, first, think about Hopadai himself. He loves books, and he does stuff that's most kids would think is boring, like building model ships and boats, reading, do a lot of writing, and a lot of rule making. This guy is the textbook definition of old nerd, just like old geezer Ford. Another thing is that he keeps the fact of what he's doing to seal away the box a secret, whereas anyone would have just destroyed it. Hopadai doesn't. He just hides it away. Why? Because he knows that destroying it would cause more problems than it would solve. Now, here's my theory. Just like in Gravity Falls, someone tries to build a machine to teleport realms and fails. It makes a rift. And so he seals it away in that music box. He lost it. I don't know why he did. Yeah, it just happened. Nah, there are holes in that part, but that's a little bit of a stretch. But it's possible that he simply lost it and it got sent to another dimension. Once Anne gets it, the rift is open, the seal is broken, and it teleports her and her friends into another universe. Then, once Hopadai finds out that Anne has it, he does not make the same mistake that he did before. He doesn't destroy it because he knows that if it is destroyed, the rift will be ripped apart, and just like Weirmageddon, it might cause a lot of problems. So, does that mean what I think it means? Hopadai could be our stand-in for Ford. He even has the same, white strip in his hair, and it could be hinting at the thing in the amulet. Now, I know there's one massive plot hole. If Anne used the rift, then where is it? It should have remained intact, just like the one in Gravity Falls did. And to that I say, is ever realized that the frog's technology is really basic? Wagons and mushroom lamps? If Hopadai did make the portal, he couldn't have made it that big. It couldn't have been that used, because it takes a ton of power to activate the one that 4 made. So it couldn't have made a very large rift, just one to cause, just one small enough to cause problems, just like one teleportation and that's it. Or, maybe it takes a lot of energy and it builds up after time, which honestly kind of makes the most sense since he buries it so no one else can use it. So what does this mean for the future of the show? Well, I can definitely say that if Hopadai is a stand-in for Ford, then we will be seeing him reveal what he did in the music box after a huge incident that exposes him for the genius that he really is. Although frogs aren't technically advanced, technologically advanced, he reached a fate far greater than what anyone else could have. If I'm going strictly on how, my own process of predictions go, then honestly, I would think Hopadai would have to sacrifice himself in the future for the protection of Anne, Sprig, and Polly. It makes sense that he does something really bad, like burying Anne's only way back home, and having to redeem himself in a crisis. Take that with just a little grain of salt, because not enough has been out for me to make a full theory on that. But anyway, that's just a little theory I have while watching the show, and don't take my word for it. If you don't believe me, just go watch the show for yourself. Also, I do not think this is canon. It's just a fun way to poke light at, whatever this is. Also, a little side note, if that is what's gonna happen, I don't think that Anne is gonna be able to go home. Because who knows how long that music box would take to charge up its power or something, Anyway, I wanna hear your theories in the comments. Also, I have a Discord that I will link in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. This has been Weeby Theories, signing off.